So how do we choose faith over fear? In a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be preaching on the morning of the special offering about a guy in his early 40s. His name was Caleb, and he saw the giants, he saw the problems, he saw the obstacles. But first and foremost, he held on to what God had promised, what God had spoken.
You know, with our finances and with every aspect of our life, we have a choice between faith and fear. And sometimes we feel like we get it right, and sometimes we don't.
Every church that we have been a part of, every church that we have led, has always prioritized special offerings, not simply because it is an important means of raising revenue to buy buildings, to refurbish buildings, but more than that, it's a challenge of faith. And yeah, I can remember when our kids were small, Janet was at home looking after them. We had one very modest salary, and we had to choose faith over fear. And you know what? 40 years later, it's no different. It's just the same.
Yeah, and the history of this church is built on faith. We do ride on the shoulders of giants, but we want our faith stories as well. We want to be part of the way forward here, don't we? We want to be able to tell our stories of stepping out in faith and seeing what God is going to do.
For me, like the best personal story, it's a long time ago, but it was an amazing story. So you go back to, well, it was 1982, and we were not yet married. We were about to get engaged, and I did not have any money to buy Janet an engagement ring. So I was praying for the money, and within a matter of days, I'd received 2 wadges of cash through the letterbox. 10, 15 years later, I found out by accident who had given that money. They'd come to faith in Jesus about 4 or 5 weeks before that, and they just heard God as a brand new believer. Why don't you be generous to Andy? Give him a gift of money. And it was an amazing provision of God for us, just as we were starting out really on this adventure of faith for finance.
You know, we are hearing so many stories, aren't we, of provision to people. I mean, a story of a family having getting a car that was given to them by somebody else in the church, which blessed them to bits. A 7-seater so they could bring 2 families to church, which was just brilliant. Stories from people that are buying new houses, have come over from abroad to this country, and people in the church have been able to give them televisions and sofas and tables. So
I love the car story, because the person said to me, yeah, I could have got a few £1,000s, well, quite a few £1,000s actually, if it had gone back to the garage. But you know what? I just wanted to bless somebody in the church. And I love that we're in this together as God's family.